shufflers of the internet. I interviewed 5 seasoned shufflers and asked them what advice they would give to a brand new dancer. Their answers range from tactical tips for better practice all the way to overcoming self doubt to push through a creative block. They all gave totally different but equally helpful answers, so make sure you watch all the way to the end to hear what they all have to say.
As silly as it sounds, the importance to have fun with it, because we, especially as like a new shuffler, you're gonna like think about it a lot, and you're more prone to like getting frustrated because you want to get it down, and the movements are kind of weird, and so I guess just trying to have fun with it regardless. Just keep going and not getting so hung up if you don't get it like on your first try, even if it's like the first few months or something. It's something that you are going to build, and muscle memory is like your best friend in it. So once you get that muscle memory down, everything else will flow a lot more natural. And I feel like even when you start to accept the fact that like it has to be fun, like you just have to enjoy it, everything else comes more naturally too. We could very often, and I'm very guilty of this, being our own like worst critic when it comes to dancing. Recording yourself, I always tell everyone, is such a huge like key, because you learn so much from just watching yourself too. But in that, we can, like I said, be your own worst critic, but we also have to be our own biggest fan. Like in that moment, look past like any mistakes and look at how happy you are, just having fun. Like you're expressing to the song, like anything, even just being out there, just dancing. That's like, that takes a lot out of you, just like having that courage or just whatever. So acknowledging even like the little details, and just, yeah, I guess not get so hung up. Like don't think too much about it, because when we think too much, then you just start to mess up. Like things don't make sense because you're just like you're pondering on it, and just feel it out. Literally just feel it out. Even if like if you're dancing, if you can't find a flow or something, I'll always just like close my eyes and just like breathe for a few minutes and just kind of like let it just like take me. Even if like you're just like bobbing slowly, just kind of like move around with it and then just let it carry you. Um, it's not really something, at least for me, it's not really something that could be forced. Like I don't really like being put on the spot to dance. Like I like to let it just flow naturally. So kind of like take that with you too. Although I know that sometimes by forcing yourself to dance, you're also like pushing and getting past that to grow. So it could be conflicting, I guess. But yeah, just the importance of fun in like the whole thing.
Take the time and just learn a couple of moves. You know what I mean? Rather than having all these different options of like, I can learn how to like wiggle walk, I can do all this like, all these like really crazy sequences. Learn a couple of moves really, really well and get comfortable with doing a couple of moves well. Because if you can like get comfortable doing just a couple of moves, everything else becomes so much easier. And I would say definitely participate in the community. Like if there's like a local meet, go there, meet people, learn from people that have been doing it. You know what I mean? That's how, like that's really the best way to grow.
I would definitely say record everything like as much as you can. Like that's actually what really helped me kind of review and like look at like how like and kind of like just see how you feel when you like do a certain move. Like I'm doing maybe my running man a little bit more aggressive. Okay, I took a clip of that. Let me see what that looks like. Oh, my leg needs to come out a little bit more. So then when you try it again, you notice that you improve it and you can feel how that move kind of is better in a way. So I definitely would say that like recording is definitely huge, especially if you don't have a mirror. I don't have a mirror in my garage like at all. And I definitely want to see like what ways I can do better and progress if I don't have a mirror or a studio to shuffle in. Even if I'm in a studio to shuffle in, like I always just want to record it just to kind of review it. Like that's kind of the best way that I've kind of learned. And also, if you get a sick video, you can post it. So it's like a 2-in-1.
Don't try to force yourself to practice or to like force yourself towards a specific style, right? Like when I guess when I first started, like there was a lot of people that wanted to really like copy a certain style from someone, and it's more so about like just getting inspired. Like when you see something, like what can you do to like make it your own, right? Like so I would say like when you're stuck, just go back to the roots of the basics and and just be experimental with like how you practice.
Well, first I would check to see if if their heart's in it enough to. So I just don't want to waste my time, essentially. And I have had people that I've tried to help, and they're like, I want to learn how to shuffle, so we'll do like an hour practice, but they don't practice outside of like when we meet up. And because I feel like if you want to learn how to do the dance, you're going to want to do the dance, and you're going to seek out tutorials on your own and figure it out on your own. And I don't mind helping. It's just if someone who is, insecure and it's something that they've never done before and they're a little afraid of, being in public to dance, I understand that. But I feel like the need to dance and express should outweigh what anyone else thinks. Like everyone, I think, who can see someone who's trying to do anything for the first time, like they recognize like that person's new, and if you get like remarks, to put you down, you just have to brush it off, because eventually you're going to get to that point if you want it that badly. And that's what I told myself. And there was a couple times, I went to some shows and I was a little nervous showing it off, but, the music was so good. It's like I can't help but dance, and I don't care if I look like a fool. And anyone who doesn't necessarily know how to dance, but has the confidence behind their uncoordinated movements, looks 10 times better than someone who's just standing there.